point did you decide that the lean mentality needed to go from a business application to your life?
That's a very good question. At what point? Well, I think that probably after about 2 or 3 years of doing lean in my company and seeing the incredible results that we got. I tell a couple stories in the book. We took processes that took 45 minutes, and I was an expert at it because I'm a manufacturing guy. And I'd set up these processes, and they took 45 minutes to do. And when Toyota came in, they reduced them to 5 minutes.
Whoa.
In 1 week.
Whoa.
That's what an idiot I was. That's how clueless I was.
Wow.
Now, in the context, the bank, it's very difficult to get a line of credit or money from a bank when you're a startup company. The bank said they'd give me any amount of money I wanted. I was applying for a $250,000 line of credit, and they don't do that. And they said, I've never seen a company so well run and so well managed as this. And then Toyota came in a week later and said, this is the most screwed up company I've ever seen. And then they proceeded to show me how screwed up it was. And this is a guy who won Business of the Year and was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year when Toyota came in. So when the Japanese came in and saw what I was doing, they humbly just said, well, I think there might be a better way. And then I said, show me. And they showed me. And I said, guess what? I'm clueless and I don't know what I'm doing. So I proceeded to follow it. And so to answer your question, after 3 years of success after success after success, I started thinking to myself, gosh, this is really could be applied to everything. The way I make my lunch, the way I clean my bathroom, the way I clean my car. I got to apply this to everything. So I just started looking at everything through a different paradigm. Then before long, I'm traveling all over the world, both speaking because of my book and with customers, meeting customers. And I'm looking at the clunky process of travel and check-in and check-out and getting on a plane and getting off a plane and checking into a hotel and the way they clean the hotel room. And I'm looking at everything and go, God, everything's a mess, right? So lean could be applied to everything. Processes could be improved everywhere. So that's when the epiphany really hit me, and I go, my gosh, this applies maybe to the way my health. I was 243 pounds. I'm 175.
Wow.
I mean, I said, well, how am I putting nutrients into my body? What's the process in which I'm taking care of myself? How can I apply lean principles and improve that process? I started thinking about everything. And, I just had a guy the other day contact me and say, Paul, your next book should be Lean Finance. And he said, I think people really dig that because people really don't know how to handle their money. And how could you apply lean? What's your financial journey? And how have you applied lean principles to that concept? And I said, I wrote it down in my wonder list. That's a good book title. It's relevant.
I think that would be really big. And I'm kind of curious, would you be willing to give some examples of lean financing technique just to kind of give some examples of how this could be applied?
Well, I think at the core of lean is you can't spend what you don't have, right? And I think most people love to be lured into borrowing money and things of this nature. And that the biggest principle of lean finance is, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Maybe going to shock maybe some of the listeners. They probably never heard this before. Money suffocates creativity. So we all think the problem is money. We all think we need more money, when the truth of the matter is we need less. If you have less, you have to think more deeply about everything you're doing. So if you want to become unsuccessful, just go get a bank loan. Right? Just go borrow money from your parents or your relatives. But if you want to really become successful and be on a trajectory that's sustainable, try to figure out how to do it without much money. That's lean.
I like that.